Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Thomas. I'm a professional saxophone player based in Berlin. And today I want to talk about, in my opinion, a very important topic, the practice routine. If you think about it, of course, the most important thing is that you show up for practicing and you practice at all. But right after that comes the question, what to practice and how to practice. And today I want to show you a little bit how I do it and how I think the best practice routine looks like. So maybe let's quickly talk about why a practice routine is so important. First of all, of course, it gives you some consistency, meaning that when you practice today, you still remember what you practiced yesterday and you can continue with what you practiced. Of course, it also increases the effectiveness a lot, meaning we get better with less time we invest. Another important thing is that if you have a well-organized practice routine, you will more likely become a well-rounded musician, meaning that you won't end up having an amazing technique and playing everything super fast, but your sound just sucks and no one wants to listen to you. This would be the worst, right? And also another positive effect from a practice routine is that it just makes it easier for you to pick up your instrument because you're not overwhelmed already before you start by thinking like, what am I going to practice today? What brilliant idea am I going to have to practice, and so on. Let's quickly jump to sports for a second. For example, if you imagine a soccer player playing a game, he would never ever just go on the field and start playing without any warm-up before. And the same thing is true for us. We should always have a warm-up so we play on our best level and also we prevent injuries. So we start with a warm-up, and this consists first of all of sound exercises. So maybe some overtone exercises, mouthpiece exercises, breathing, and so on. You have many things that you can do here, and you can also find a lot of helpful exercises on my YouTube channel here. The second part of the warm-up is that you practice your technique, because always, no matter how good you are, you need to keep your technique oiled, and if you stop practicing any technique for some time, you will notice the effect quite drastically. So this is your warm-up, first the sound exercises, then going to the techniques, and I would really recommend to you never skip these two things. This is really crucial for your long-term development. You want to have a great sound. Without a great sound, nothing else matters, and you want to have a really good technique, because also if you play things sloppy, it doesn't sound very convincing. After you've finished your warm-up, you're ready to go to the main part of your practicing. So maybe you have a classical piece that you're practicing, or you have maybe a jazz standard where you're practicing to solo over, or you have certain chords you're practicing, something like this. This is the main part, and most of the time of your practice session you will use for this part. Then after the main part, there comes an additional part where you can practice something that won't take as much time as the things you practice in the main part, but that is also important for you to include in your practice routine. So maybe you said you want to learn this or that new jazz standard, or maybe you have some tunes that you need to rehearse for your band, or things like this. They don't take as much time. And finally, after you finish this, I would recommend to just have a few minutes of playing and just having fun. So just choose some of your favorite pieces that you always like to play. So you end your practice session with a really good feeling, and this will make it easier and much more likely that you will take your instrument the next day again and start practicing again. I hope this was helpful for you. Have fun practicing and see you next time.